Hey there YouTube, Chaos Cuber here. It's a little bit late, so I have to keep it down, but it's another day, another unboxing. This one's actually going to be a really exciting one from eBay, and it's basically a bunch of vintage type cubes. Without further ado, I'm excited about this one. Let's get right into this unboxing. Please pardon the funky angle here, basically cramped office, and this is the best way to do that. My nice little magnet here, but let's get right into this box. As you can see, it has the Amazon logo on there. This is definitely not Amazon stuff. So let's see what we have here exactly. It's going to be really interesting. I have not opened this box yet, obviously, and it is kind of shaking around, so I'm curious to see if these puzzles are intact or what condition exactly they're in. I have another camera right here, so I'm going to have to watch the flap on that side, but you're going to get the first look. And I can see it in the camera. That looks pretty crazy. Let's just kind of pull those out one by one and let's take a closer look. Okay, so I don't know what the exact formula to get this done is going to be, but basically I bought this box sight unseen from eBay at auction. It's supposed to be a bunch of vintage cubes, around 38 of them, plus some interesting ones which actually arrived, which I bought from the same seller. So I'll show you those here in just a little while. There are some I'm very excited for in here, and there's also a lot of unknowns. So without further ado, let's get right into them. I cannot promise that I'm going to be able to identify every one of these cubes, but I will try to. First up here, I'm really hoping also to get a gas-assisted cube view, so I guess that's going to be the wild card if we pick one of those up or not. So first up here, this one is actually missing the logo sticker or the center cap there, which I might be able to find that somewhere in here, and if I do, I'll let you know, but it's probably a cube view, and let's quickly look at the mechanism here. Yes, seems very reminiscent of all those old mechanisms there. I really was not into Speed Cubey at that time, but I have a lot of appreciation for the first Speed Cubes. It's probably just a standard cube view of some sort in white. Seems to be a fairly standard color scheme. Turning right out of the box seems a bit catchy, and it doesn't corner cut super great. Actually, I take that back. It corner cuts pretty well, but reverse corner cutting seems lacking. And as expected, you can see right there. So hopefully this camera is in focus, but that is the first cube. Gotta keep moving along. It does turn very smoothly though. Next up here, it seems we have original Shengshao Wind. You can just tell that just by looking at it. Never mind. Actually, the turning is a lot different. So I'm going to have to take a look at this quickly. I'm not sure exactly what type of cube this is, and I think that's going to be a trend with a lot of these, but this has a really interesting turning. First of all, it looks very similar to like a Shengshao Wind, but the mechanism is a lot more like a Rubik's brand. The turning is actually very, very good. I'm very surprised by the turning. It seems to be, I don't know, just very, a lot better than I expected. Let's just see the corner cutting here. It seems a corner cut, about line to line, normal. And reverse, not much at all. I actually like the feeling of this cube though. That's really interesting. It's definitely like no Rubik's brand type thing I've ever tried before. Next up here, we have a really quality looking cube, and I bet the turning's spectacular on this because this seems, well, I'm not going to say it's a standard Rubik's brand, but it seems sort of like something like that. The pieces are kind of falling apart, so I'll have to see if we can find the rest of the pieces in the package here somewhere. Also, I forgot to mention, I paid very, very little for these cubes. I think an average of about $1 a cube, so that's a really good deal. What is this exactly? There is actually a logo sticker there. I cannot make that out. Maybe you can on the camera, but let me take a quick look at that. So apparently that's embossed into the plastic under each of the stickers. I'm not sure if I ever exactly figure out what that logo is, but as you can see right there, it does have some sort of logo. Let's try turning here. It seems about the same as the other one there that I cannot identify. I'm assuming these are going to be all sorts of different vintage speed cubes. I'm just really excited to get a number of these to my collection. I'm sure I'll figure out their exact names and types in the coming days. I do a little bit more research on these. I'm not well versed. There's another one of those. Next up here, this is actually really cool. This is a Rubik's cube of some sort, but it seems to have some interesting logos on there. Not sure, my first thought was like ambulance logos, the EMS, but I don't think that's what that is. I'm trying to think exactly what those could be used for. Maybe it's like a super cube or something, but it's actually a Rubik's brand. And first off, every single one of these puzzles in here, these have obviously been owned by a speed cuber at some point in history. And they're all fairly well lubricated and turn fairly well. I mean, this is a Rubik's brand, so it's not going to turn that well. But as far as Rubik's brands go, it does corner cut a little bit, and it seems in fairly good shape. Next up here, we have, oh wow, I've been wanting one of these for a long time. This was my first budget speed cube. I used to be able to get these at the flea market. I could go to, I don't know, not really locally, but something we went to fairly often for $2 each. This is a Shengshao Mark I with the matte stickers. Actually really happy to get another one of these. And I was thinking about ordering one actually, but see, they just use a standard Rubik's mechanism, and they have matte stickers. That's kind of how you can identify them. But that's a Shengshao Mark 1, the first Shengshao. Actually used to have a bunch of those in boxes and stuff, so it's too bad I got rid of those. Next up here, this is another unbranded, unmarked cube. But in turning, it turns very, very well and smoothly, just like the other one. So it's definitely a speed cube of some sort. I don't think, I was going to say it might be a re-stickered Shengshao, but I'm really not sure. It doesn't have the matte stickers, but it could have been re-stickered. It has that same mechanism though. Next up here, ooh, this is one I was super excited for. See, this lot was overlooked by a lot of people. I can't believe anybody missed this. I've been wanting one of these for so long. These are so hard to come by. This is a 30th anniversary Rubik's Cube in wood. Oh man, that is so cool. Woo! Okay, well, I'm really excited to have one of these. I mean, I almost paid like 40 or 50 for one a couple years back, and I'm glad I didn't now because now I have one. I wanted to open up the mechanism here and see if it actually is wood on the inside. It definitely feels like wood on the outside, and I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to get the mechanism open. Probably not. It looks like plastic on the inside with wood caps. That is super, super cool with the translucent stickers right there and all that. I'm really excited to have this cube. 30th anniversary wooden Rubik's Cube. Next up here, a standard stickered Rubik's Cube. This one has been definitely lubricated and probably broken in a little bit because it does turn fairly well for one of these types of puzzles. Next up here, this is actually one I've been wanting to get for a while, but I'm pretty sure I'm going to get the set from Oliver Stickers because this is probably poor quality, but this is a calendar cube. I'm going to start using this here daily, and as you can see, it does have kind of like a dollar store mechanism, but it actually turns pretty well, and the stickers seem fairly high quality. I'm actually impressed by that. That's really cool. I've been wanting one of these for a long time. Wednesday, January 20th was the last time this was solved into a position. Next up here, we have a Happy Frog, a different frog, another frog face, and it says something right there that I cannot read. Hero Nero Pre. Hero Nero Pre. Okay, well that's very interesting. It seems to have a couple stickers missing and also a bad dent, broken piece right there. Turning very dollar store, but actually turns pretty well. A very well broken in dollar store cube. And let's see if I can read that name one more time here. Let me take a quick look at. Oh, there you go. Kiro Pre. Okay, well that's interesting. For some sort of Japanese show. And there you go. That's actually a really cool cube. This is a glow-in-the-dark cube of some sort. Possibly a Cube View or possibly something else. It has the matte stickers on it, which is actually pretty cool. And wow, the turning on that is actually really good for what it is. It feels pretty substantial and it's just very smooth. I mean, when I'm talking turning here, I'm talking by vintage Rubik's Cube or vintage Speed Cube specifications, obviously not modern speed cubes, but it's tensionable, has some interesting characters on the inside of that. Hopefully I'm keeping this in focus fairly well. And all in all, wow, that's actually pretty cool. It has a black side and then white on there, and it turns very substantially. There's some center caps and things down in here, so hopefully I'll find the pieces for that. And here's those other pieces for that Rubik's Cube, probably. Okay, let's keep moving along here. Next up, it looks like we have another matte stickered cube. Is this another Shengshao? Let me quickly check the mechanism, and yes, I'd assume this is another Shengshao. I've never actually had one of these in white, so that's really cool. Let's just try an algorithm on this thing here quickly. This one turns a lot better than the ones I remember. My one that I had was very, I don't know, what do you call it? Not very well set up, and just kind of stock out of the box. They aren't very good. They are better than the newer Shengshao Wind, but not very good all in all. Nope, that's the wrong center cap. It fell down in here, and I'm going to have to find that. Okay. And there we go. We have a Cube for You logoed cube. The stickers on this are very worn and peeling, but this is actually a logoed Cube for You. That does turn fairly well. Oh, and it's also on very loose tensions. Okay. Well, there we go. That's pretty cool. Corner cutting. A little bit of corner cutting. Reverse. No reverse. Mechanism, very standard Rubik's brand-esque mechanism. Cool, Cube for You. Had a bunch of vintage cubes a long time ago, and I sold those off kind of foolishly, and I kind of wish I didn't. I'll actually have a Throwback Thursday next Thursday showing my old cube collection a little bit. I have one video that shows them fairly well when I was actually selling them, so I'll put that up. But anyway, I am trying to get back into vintage cubes, and here was a really good lot that I found to do that. Here's a Rubik's brand cube with a good logo, and the stickers are not all clapped out. That's actually pretty nice. Hard to find, but here one is. It turns not that well. It obviously hasn't been broken in as much as the other one, and it's just a Rubik's brand cube, one of the newer ones. I already have one of these, but this is actually a really cool cube. This is the Rubik's Void Cube. And as far as Void Cubes go, compared to the Lan and any other on the market, which that one guy who made the Thunder Cube, the Speed Void Cube with springs and everything, would actually mass produce that. But other than that, this is a really cool Void Cube and the best on the market as far as turning goes. Weird color scheme, but you could probably fix that. Next up here, speaking of the Lan Void Cube, we have a Lan Void Cube. Oh man, this thing turns absolutely horribly. It's a little bit more solid than the other one I have. I think the other one I have is an X Cube Void Cube. This is a proper Lan with the really funky shades that Lans usually come with. Maybe, I can't remember exactly, but I think they came with funky shades, and that's one of them. Okay, next up here, it seems like we have a cube for you, Blue Cube. And as you can see, this actually turns very fantastically as far as fluidity and all that. Reverse corner cutting, 0. Corner cutting, about line to line. So, it's about what to expect on these older speed cubes. And as you can see, standard Rubik's mechanism. Haven't found anything odder than that yet. But that's pretty cool, and I did see some of the center caps floating around in here, so hopefully I'll be able to find all those and get them back together. Here's something really cool. CubeSmith stickers. I've heard a lot about this company, but I think they're out of business now, unfortunately. They were a big sticker supplier for a long time, and there is a set of CubeSmith stickers. Still in nice shape, to their, what do we call it, to their credit. Next up here, we have a Rubik's Mini Cube. It's very hard to see on this camera because it's actually a little bit far away. I have one of these, but I have the 1980s variant. I think this is a little bit newer one, so that's nice. It doesn't turn super well, but it does seem to have been solved quite a bit, and it's pretty loose. Missing the keychain there, as you can see, is removed. Pretty cool. Next up here. So, I wonder exactly what this was for. Was this a blind cube, perhaps? That would be really cool. A blind, I don't know, practice cube, per se. Either that, it's a Sudoku cube. Either way, it has Sharpie numbers on a number of the sides, and it seems like a lot of it has faded away, potentially. But, all in all, it is just the standard speed cube mechanism I've been feeling before, and actually this one feels pretty good. What mechanism is this? It's the same old, same old. Wow, they really knew, the first original speed cube manufacturers, on how to make these standard Rubik's mechanisms work really well. I mean, this one has easily line to line. I actually think you go, wow. Wow. Okay, almost 45. 45 probably on the right tensions, and then about no reverse, but almost 45-degree corner cutting. This one is very impressive in that respect. Next up here, another standard one. Basically, when I bought this lot, he said that it was mostly cube for you cubes. He said 38 Rubik's cubes, mostly cube for you, but with one picture, I really had no idea. And I can tell you right now, these are definitely all that type of speed cube, all from that kind of era. They turn fairly well, as cube for you cubes tend to do. Okay, next up here we have another cube. This one has the cube for your logo right on there. Has quite a bit of different sound actually to a lot of these other ones there. Again, it's that kind of different mechanism where it's not quite the Rubik's brand. It has like that hole in the bottom and all that, so it must be a little bit later cube for you cube. Turns fairly well, corner cutting exactly as we can expect from previous ones, just past line to line on this one. And probably no reverse. Next up here, this one actually has a funky shade of green there. Not sure if you can tell that, but it definitely has a different shade of green than most. And this one also turns very, very well and fluidly. Wow, I'm actually going to enjoy speed solving a couple of these here just to kind of get a feel for how they feel and how they speed solve, because I mean, these are actually really fluid. I'm really impressed. Despite the lack of reverse corner cutting, for the mechanism these have in them and how basic they are, the lubrication job and everything done on these is very impressive. And wow, look at that. What mechanism is that? Is that like a Guhong version 1 or something? But it doesn't seem to have any Florian cuts. Okay, I'm going to have a lot of fun looking this up. Hopefully I can find the centerpiece in there and tell you a little bit more by the end of the video. V-Cube. Cool. Wow. Okay. Guhong S mechanism. V-Cube. I've been wanting a V-Cube for a long time. I don't know why I haven't bought one yet. I just got a V-Cube. Woo! Okay. Well, that's exciting. I'm excited by these vintage cubes, as you can plainly see. But this is a V-Cube 3 in square shape, not the pillowed one. I am excited about that. Wow. Okay. Let's see here. Just past line to line. Corner cutting. Actually, a little bit of reverse corner cutting, so that's always nice. And I think what we have here is a cubic V-Cube. Never had one. Wanted one for a little while for the collection. There one is. That's super cool. Let's see if I can find the center cap in it for it here quickly. And there it is. Okay. Oop. Dropped it again. And there it is right there. If you can actually see that. V cube. That's awesome. Okay, so I only have 7 minutes of recording left on here, but let's get the rest of these out of the way. Had to actually change my card there. Hopefully my focus is still adjusted. It seems to be. Next up here, I really don't know what that logo is. You're going to have to help me in the comments below. Is this an Edison cube, I'd like to say? Take a look at the mechanism here in just a minute, but it's a white cube. And it actually seems a little bit smaller than all the other ones here. I'm not sure if that's just placebo or not. Nope, seems a little bit smaller. Okay. So, this is some sort of white cube, and it has that logo right there, which is a little bit worn. Let's take a piece out of here quickly. It seems to be a little bit different of a modified Rubik's mechanism, as you can see there. So that's interesting. I'm really not sure what brand that is. I'll probably do some research and figure out all of these like I did with my previous cubes like that. But that may be an Edison cube, that's my guess. Next up here, we have a cube for you with almost pristine stickers. That's very nice, and as you can see, it's popping on me right there. It's very, very loose. Seems to be missing a cap there in the back, but it's just a standard cube for you. I'd assume the same standard mechanism. Okay, next up here, this is something I've been excited about here. Also, I saw this in the pictures, and as you can see, you can actually see me in the reflection there, maybe. Hey guys, I'm behind the camera. Okay, anyway, this may be an original Rubik's mirror blocks. First off, it definitely seems like it's seen better days. I'm not sure if the stickers are sticking or if it's rusty on the core. It's probably rusty on the core because I can see some rust almost on the outside. Or maybe it's a bandage modification. No, there you go. It just kind of broke free there. Hopefully I'm keeping this in focus right there. I believe this original Rubik's Mirror Cube. I've wanted one of these for quite a while, and if this is what I think it is, that's pretty exciting. This one's obviously not in perfect shape, but still, I'm really into mirror cubes, and this may be one of the original ones. Either way, it's definitely pretty old. Okay, coming closer to the end here, this one seems to have some sort of fur behind each of the stickers. I'm not sure what that's all about, and this one seems a lot tighter than any of the other ones I've tried. This is another Cube View cube. I'm going to stop handling that one and clean it off later. Next up here, we have some sort of odd picture cube. It has like popsicles and that, and then like a Star of David or something on there. I'm not exactly sure. So anyways, from Oriental Trading, it's just some sort of picture cube. Next up here, we have a cube that has almost all of its center caps missing, which they're all in here, I'm pretty sure. Okay, well, as seems to happen often with my videos, not by design, I'm sure. I always seem to have equipment malfunction and failure. I had to switch to another light. Hopefully this one doesn't run out, but it is a bit brighter. I could actually turn a lot brighter than this. But let's just leave it right there, and hopefully that works out. So we have this cube right here. Not sure which one that is. A couple of them here. I see a couple center caps in the bottom here, which are also CubeSmith, so a lot of these have CubeSmith stickers on them. And there's also a blue cap for the orange side there. Okay, so we're getting to the end of the box. I gotta keep speeding through these here. We have a Shengshao Mark 1 again. Woo, I'm excited to have some of these. Literally, these are what I grew up cubing on, and the place where I bought them from does not sell them anymore. I wish I'd kept a few. And here is another one. Once again, I have one in white and two in black. Excited about that. Next up here seems to be another Cube for You type cube with CubeSmith stickers. Same exact mechanism there as the oldest cubes there. Not sure that mechanism exactly. Same one as in the Shengshao. And let's see, next up here. Now that there is what you call a mess of a cube of some sort. Is this another V-cube? I hope this is a V-cube. It is. It's a V-cube pillowed. I'm very excited about this. So now I have both the cubic and the pillowed V-cube. I'm going to have to resticker this one, obviously. Man, that's awesome. I was going to buy a V-cube, but now I do not have to buy either the pillowed or the stickered one. And as you can see, standard V-cube mechanism, very similar to a Guhong. And there it is, a V-cube pillowed in very poor shape. Next up here, we have a really worn out Cube for You cube. As you can see right here, turns about the same as also a Cube for You cube. Same mechanism, I bet. A couple center pieces there missing, which I'm sure are down in the box here. And next up here, guess what? Another Cube for You cube. This is actually a different version than the other ones there. We did not get one of the, what is it called? What is the one that I said that I wanted to get at the beginning of it? The strengthened version? No. It's the gas-filled, gas-assisted Cube for You. That's the one I've been looking for a little while, and unfortunately I don't think we have any of these in this box, but this is certainly a different version of Cube for You, as you can tell by the center piece design and the mechanism. The mechanism's also quite a bit different. Very, very airy. Kind of the opposite of the what do you call it? The gas-assisted one. But there's no cube for you. Turns a little bit different than the other ones there. Okay, and there we go. Another cube for you. Turns fairly well. Good corner cutting as usual. No reverse. Pop open the mechanism. Standard cube view mechanism. And last couple cubes here. This is an early stickered cube. Oh, I saw one of these. I was pretty excited. I'm not sure what brand this is. If this is a Diansheng, though, that's pretty cool because that would be a cool... I think it was... Who was the cuber on YouTube who used to do all that stuff like Will It Lube with Diansheng cubes? I'm not sure. But this has a V-cube knockoff mechanism, as you can see there, Guhong-esque. But the corners are more like V-cube. See if I can even pop this back in here. This is a stickerless cube, and this one actually doesn't turn too bad. Let's just look at corner cutting, about line to line, and about zero reverse. So, that is some sort of stickerless cube. It has a really interesting, kind of textured, ridged pattern on there. And I think with that, we're just about coming to the end, except for one more exciting thing. First of all, a couple of Rubik's Cube stands, and a whole bunch of different centerpieces and things. Let me just look through these quickly and see if there's anything interesting. I doubt it. Okay, well, we definitely had a Sheng-En cube or two here. We have a whole bunch of pieces here that say Sheng-En on the inside, so that's another brand they wanted to collect. This guy said mostly cube view, but obviously he didn't quite remember exactly what was in here because these are really old cubes, so I wasn't sure what to expect, but you just never know. And apparently there's some Sheng-Ens in there. I'm going to figure out what those go to. Those are probably those other cubes that I couldn't identify. Okay, I think that's about it. Let's clear some packing material out of here. I bought 2 lots from this seller. I got a really good deal on the second one, and I was really surprised because I thought these were pretty rare. Apparently, in Canada, a while ago, these Star Wars heads came out of cereal boxes. At least that's a story I've heard before. If you know anything more on them, let me know. I'm just going to get my focusing a little bit different on here. Okay, and as some YouTube memeists would say, if that's exactly what you call it. But anyway, I guess my SD card did run out. Had to go wipe it, and we're back. So as far as the story that I got on these, and the little engravings on the bottom confirm here, if you can see those or not, these are made by Rubik's. These were put in Kellogg's cereal boxes in Canada. So very odd story, but these are supposedly pretty rare, and I paid about $12 for a complete set of them. I'm really happy about that. Despite if they are rare or not, or if I've just been told completely wrong, these are Star Wars heads made by Rubik's. These are not sealed. As you can see right here, though, I have a nearly complete set, and they seem to be in pretty good condition. There's that one there, and then we have Obi-Wan and old Obi-Wan, I think. I'm not super well versed in all my Star Wars stuff. And then we have Anakin, and then we have Darth Vader. And let's just try turning on one of these. I already tried this, and they don't turn. I mean, they literally... Ooh, I felt like I broke it there, maybe. They do not turn. Yeah, they have a clicking mechanism, maybe. They just don't turn. So anyway, and there is C-3PO, R2-D2. This one, it's possible to turn it, but it is very, very stiff. Also, I don't know exactly. I know that's Princess Leia, but who is that exactly? Maybe herself younger? It doesn't turn at all. Okay. So anyway, those are all the Star Wars heads. Let me know in the comments if these are rare or not. Either way, I have a full set of them sold or put in cereal boxes, Kellogg's, Canada. Who knows when? I forget even. Turn of the century or something like that. Anyway, made by Rubik's, and that's pretty exciting to have a full set right there. Okay, so pardon the camera in the foreground here, but let's just give you a quick and final overview of all of these puzzles right here. There were quite a lot. This was a very long unboxing video. I know it's definitely of more interest to some people than others. A lot of people are just into the modern stuff and not as much into the vintage stuff. I, on the other hand, really want to get a bunch more of the vintage cubes, and I'm really working on growing my vintage cube collection. I'm not going to pay up crazy for any of them there, but I'm working on that. So anyway, this was a really good step, and they're very inexpensive, so I just had to pick this lot up. It's definitely exceeded my expectations. Interesting thing here, those ones, I was saying they're a bunch of Sheng-En caps. This actually came off a lot of these Cube For You cubes, so I'm really confused now if they're Sheng-Ens or Cube For Yous or whatever. I mean, it doesn't really matter. I'll figure it out eventually. You can look at the mechanisms and look it up online. Numerous different posts by different people all around. But anyway, long video, I think that's about it for today. If you liked it, please like it below, leave a comment if you have any cubes that you're able to identify, or any other comments in the questions or comments below. Yeah, we're about done with this video. Kids, keep her out. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe below. I always say that. And also follow me on Instagram if you want to see pictures of these types of cubes, speed cubes, different cubography, all that different types of things. I like to post on there pretty often. Chaos Cuber out. Goodbye.